Being a video game developer is a tough task. If you make a great game, you're just a name in the credits, and if you make a bad game, you're hounded on Twitter by angry players who want to know why you're so bad at your job. There are some developers though that do go above and beyond in the quest to make the best game they possibly can, and that includes the developers who add really tiny or random details to their games. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at 15 hidden details that you won't believe are in your favourite video games. Oh, and let me quickly clarify, my usual rule of only featuring details I've not used before doesn't apply here, as it's not part of the Easter eggs or hidden details series. Anyway, without further delay, let's get started. So first up, let's take a look at the excellent Call of Duty Modern Warfare. 2019's Modern Warfare is my favourite Call of Duty game in a long time. A big reason for that is that Modern Warfare really went that extra step in the attention to detail department. Take the outlets that can be found on the game's various multiplayer maps as an example. Now, many games won't even bother having plug sockets on the wall, but not only does Modern Warfare have them, but they are also region specific. For example, here is a plug socket found on one of the game's UK multiplayer maps, which I can confirm is the same outlet that I use. Here's an outlet from a Russian map who of course use the EU plug sockets, and finally here is a plug socket from the good old US of A. As I said, many games won't even have plug sockets, so the fact that the sockets in Modern Warfare are regionally correct is the very definition of going above and beyond. The other detail from Modern Warfare that makes me smile can be found on the Cheshire Park map. If you head to the cafe, you can do this. So standing in the boiling oil will cause your character to be burnt before dying. I mean, it obviously makes sense. I'm just surprised that it was actually included in the game. Up next is first-person freerunner Mirror's Edge. Now, Mirror's Edge puts you in the shoes of Faith, a freerunner with attitude. The game takes place entirely from Faith's perspective, though you are able to see Faith's arms and legs. Well, it turns out that it's not just Faith's limbs that can be seen. If you take a look at Faith's shadow, you may notice this. So even though it's never actually visible when playing the game, Faith's hair will realistically move. It's pretty cool. Next up is Fallout New Vegas, which is home to perhaps the most pointless detail in this entire video. Brahims are the two-headed cows that inhabit the world of New Vegas. Well, for some strange reason, you can do this. Yep, you can push the poor Brahims over. Why? Well, I don't know why. So the Deus Ex games are known for their incredible level of detail, and this next detail is no different. In some of the in-game bars you can find pool tables. Now if you wanted to play a quick round of pool, well, tough luck, because you can't. Well, you can't play the conventional way. If you shoot the balls into the pockets, this will happen. So not only can you pot the balls by shooting them, but they will then realistically fall into the table, like an actual pool table. It's really cool. Now, the Burnout games are known for their breakneck speeds and insane crashes. It's a game that emphasises all of the cool parts of driving and ignores the boring stuff. Well, nearly all of the boring stuff. If you set a route using your GPS, when you approach a turn, this will happen. so your vehicle will indicate before turning, which pretty much goes against everything that the Burnout series stands for. So the task of performing a heist or a robbery is a serious one. You have to watch your every step, check every corner, and always be aware of your surroundings if you're to pull off the perfect score. Well, it turns out that in Payday 2, that might be easier said than done. On some of the maps with toilets, you can find hand dryers that, when approached, will do this. So the hand dryers will turn on when you get too close. I know I've said this a lot already, but this is a really cool detail. Now, despite being a divisive game when it released, there is no debating the sheer level of detail in The Last of Us Part 2. Everything from dogs mourning the death of their owners to the ability to unlock a safe by listening to the clicks. It's like Naughty Dog thought of everything, and I do mean everything. If you head to the bathrooms, you can do this. Yup, you can lift a toilet seat up with your gun. I mean, who would have complained if the toilet seats didn't move? As I said, Naughty Dog thought of everything. Now, when Cyberpunk 2077 launched, it was bashed by every corner of the internet, and rightly so. The state the game released in, especially on last-gen consoles, was a disgrace. Well, since then, CD Projekt Red have gone about fixing the many bugs in the futuristic RPG, and by all accounts, the game is in a much better place than it was a year ago. Now, a big part of the Cyberpunk PR machine was saintly actor Keanu Reeves, who, as well as appearing in the game, attended several press conferences and interviews to help promote Cyberpunk. Well, if you only bought Cyberpunk to get some alone time with Mr. Reeves, I'm glad to report that I can help with that. If you head to the roller coaster in Pacifica, you can do this.
Bet you anything you're gonna scream like a little girl. Oh shit! Woo-hoo-hoo! Ho-ho! Whoa.
So, Cyberpunk may have its problems, but can you name another game that lets you ride a roller coaster with Keanu Reeves? I didn't think so. So despite its pixely top-down graphics, Hotline Miami is one of the most violent video games out there. Whether you're bashing an enemy's head in with a baseball bat or brutally slaughtering a room full of enemies with an SMG, one thing is guaranteed in Hotline Miami, and that's blood. Well, blood and pee. When killing someone, there is a chance that this will happen. So not only is this guy dead, but he also weed himself. Talk about a bad day. Now when it comes to competitive shooters, CSGO has to be right up there with the most hardcore of them. Favouring a good aim rather than lightning fast gameplay, Counter-Strike Global Offensive is the PC player's choice when it comes to multiplayer first-person shooters. However, it's not all headshots and callouts. If you approach a chicken that can be found on many of the game's maps and press the E key, this will happen. So the chickens will follow you around as you dole out some serious punishment. Quite why this is an option, I don't know, but it sure as hell is intimidating. Oh, and I almost forgot, if you kill your chickens, the amount of time they spent by your side will be shown in the kill feed. So So it really wouldn't be a list about video game details if I didn't mention Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, truth be told, there are loads of details I could choose for this video, but in the end I chose the detail that impressed me with its sheer over-the-top attention to detail. Let me ask you, have you ever watched NPCs eat in Red Dead Redemption 2?
Yeah, okay. The longer you play, the more people aim for keeps.
What does a dried-up old hag have to do to get drunk around here?
I'm not one to gossip, but I hear Grover's been
This
sleeping next to
town
the pig.
is so...
They actually cut up their food and eat it. This detail is crazy to me because I'm sure someone at Rockstar spent time on this animation, and I can guarantee that a lot of players have never even seen it. So let's end today's video with the brilliant Chivalry 2. Now, Chivalry is a game all about chopping enemies limb from limb, so the idea of a get together with some music is highly unlikely. However, if you manage to find a recorder, you can do this. So you can attempt to stop the violence by serenading your friends and foes alike. I mean, it doesn't work, they're still out for blood, and particularly yours, but it's the thought that counts. So that's it. If you enjoyed this video, then leaving a like is really appreciated. If you are a fan of Easter eggs, secrets, and hidden details in games, then perhaps consider subscribing, as that's what this channel is all about. A big thank you to all of you who made it this far, and I will speak to you all soon.